So, can you also talk about the risk management approaches that people can use with options, like a straddle contracts? I think that's like one of the strategies, but there's like a few strategies in the options world, at least in TradFi, that people use to protect their assets to a certain extent.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, like I mentioned, options are super composable. You can make a precise strategy. One of those strategies basically are like straddles, which we already have bots for at Dopex. If you ever want to bet, basically straddles allow you to bet um, against volatility or for volatility. So basically, a straddle is an at the money call and at the same time an at the money put. So what that means is basically, let's say ETH is $1,500 and you're like, oh, ETH is gonna move in the next few days, right? I know it's gonna move, but either on the downside or either on the upside. So what can I do, right? I can purchase an at the money call and at the money put at $1,500, and if ETH goes up at $1,600, you make $100. If ETH goes down to $1,400, you make $100, right? Basically your only loss is the premium that you're paying. So the premium that you're paying, like considering like I mentioned the Black-Scholes formula, basically that gives you the price for the risk that the seller is taking. Let's say it would be $70. So you're paying $70 for one straddle, and basically the $70 allows you to bet on the volatility on either side. You basically, if it goes crazy and it goes to $2,000, basically you pocket in the whole amount, right? Except the $70 that you paid to purchase this option. And there's other strategies, a lot of different strategies, institutionals use options to hedge, right? Let's say they have 100 ETH, for example, or something, and basically they think there's gonna be big news about regulation, for example, and they're like, you know what? Let's not take the risk. ETH might go to zero, but we want to keep our ETH, right? So if ETH goes to zero, basically that's a long tail risk. So we're gonna basically purchase options that are very far out the money. So the chances of them being in the money, uh, basically. From historical data, it's really low. So let's say I'll purchase $1,000 ETH puts, right? So I'll purchase 100 ETH put at $1,000. So if ETH drops to zero, like they predicted, basically even though they're holding the 100 ETH, they basically get sold at $1,000, right? Because you have 100 ETH and you're actually shorting ETH at $1,000, and this might have cost them not much because, like I mentioned, the chances of them being in the money are really low. So you're probably paying like for 100 each, you're probably paying like a few $100s, right? And these few $100s are worth for them to hedge their risk of the regulation happening and them going to zero, right? So that's basically just a high level example of a use case for options.
Nice. And yeah, and I think it's especially good that these aren't assets that are deliverable. So like, if the contract does expire, you don't have any like other issues to deal with overall.